It looks like he's just holding on to Shchilt's leg for dear life.
And Shchilt very mobile for a big man as he lands a low kick, followed up with a left knee.
And right there, Yamada grabbing the leg, but Shchilt before doing a great job using those legs to keep Yamada back.
Yamada with a single leg and an inside trip manages to get Shchilt on his back, looking to go to a leg lock, it seems, here as Yamada, as Shchilt wraps him up with those long arms.
I kind of feel like I'm watching a snake wrap its body around a rat here, Josh.
Well, it does appear that way somewhat, Rob. And here Yamada finding some success, getting underneath Shchilt, getting to that leg. Shchilt in danger of getting knee barred.
And Shchilt, he might have to grab the ropes, and he does, and their size pays off, Josh. If
Yes,
Shchilt
it
is
does.
any shorter, he may not be able to reach the ropes.
I don't think there's anywhere in the ring where Shchilt couldn't reach across and grab the rope. I described it once to somebody. When you're fighting Semmy Shchilt, it's like he could punch you from from one corner to the next.
And Shchilt, he's got Yamada's blood over his arm, and he's looking to draw more blood. Knees to the face, takes Yamada down. We'll see if Yamada can get up from this one, but Shchilt, devastating damage to the mouth of Yamada, and Yamada does want to continue, but he gets deducted 1 point, and he only has 1 left.
Yamada fired up, giving a great inspiration to get right back in the fight, but as you can see, he was damaged heavily by those knees as Shchilt is using that forearm choke on him and relinquishing his hold to get back to the feet. Yamada rolling up into that leg there.
And Yamada definitely wants this fight on the ground, but so far, Semmy Shchilt proving to be a very tough guy to take down.
Yeah, his physicality and his size and strength is really causing a lot of difficulties for Yamada.
As the ref breaks, Yamada breathing very hard. He's probably going to try to catch his breath during this break, and as you see, the blood of Yamada on Shchilt's left arm.
Got to wonder if Yamada's recovered from those knee strikes.
And this is not a good position to be in, but Yamada wisely goes down, brings Shchilt down, and now trying to work on the legs of Shchilt.
Working for a toe hold, Yamada there, putting that knee on Shchilt's ankle and pulling up on that toe, but Shchilt reversing, getting to his back and working for the choke.
And Shchilt trying to get that rear naked choke on Yamada. He does have a choke on, and Yamada taps out. This fight is over. Semmy Shchilt is your winner in his Pancrase debut, 5:44 in the first round. And Yamada, this guy has a lot of fun.
He does. And again, that long, that really gigantic person like Semmy Shchilt is able to slip his arms around Yamada's neck in ways that Yamada, where he doesn't have to be in such perfect position to finish a choke, but yet he's able to make it effective.
And we've mentioned this many times, the sportsmanship in Pancrase unmatched as we take a look at Yamada in the post-fight. A doctor will probably look at him to make sure he's okay, and he's in a lot of pain, Josh. He can't even walk. He's crawling on the floor.
Yeah, his ribs, his leg, his face, I mean, it's like he's been through a meat grinder.
This is kind of like the Maurice Smith fight all over again for him.
Well, no one's ever going to question Yamada's toughness, as it seems as though he's got some real damage to his rib there. Probably endured by one of Semmy Shchilt's vicious knees.
And as Semmy Shchilt proving to be a very tough competitor. And Josh, Semmy Shchilt, we thought he might win by knockout. He did knock Yamada down, but he won via submission hold. He's a very good all-around fighter.
Yeah, it's going to have to open people's eyes to think, hey, here's another Dutch striker, and karateka, but no, Semmy has a varied group of tools to choose from, and he can also submit you.
And our next fight, we're going to see Vernon Tiger White against Takaku Fuke. Now, Vernon fought him in his debut fight, but now he's improved by leaps and bounds. I expect this fight to be totally different.
Yeah, me too as well. And with all the time Vernon is spending with the Lions Den and training at the Pancrase dojo and maturing as a fighter, he's only going to continue to improve as we see him here in Pancrase.
And let's just see how well Vernon White improved.
Takaku Fuke versus Vernon Tiger White.
And as you take a look at Vernon Tiger White, Josh, you can just tell how much he's changed physically. He's so much bigger.
Yeah, it certainly seems that Vernon's been putting the time in the weight room and conditioning his body to get stronger and more physical as he goes in on that double leg takedown and is successful against Fuke.
And White now in the full guard. His record is just 6-15, but maybe a little misleading because he has grown so much as a fighter as we move ahead in the fight. And Josh, Takaku Fuke also goes by the name Yusuke Fuke. Why is that?
Well, a lot of times the fighters or wrestlers over there will choose a ring name or a pseudonym sometimes. Also, there could be another Fuke, so they might go by a different name that way as well.
And both fighters on the ground. Fuke trying to work on the neck of White, but lets that go, and now going for the leg.
Yeah, Fuke there playing defense as Vernon is working for the knee bar or toe hold there. They are dangerously close to the ropes, so they may get restarted.
Now, White did lose to Fuke in his debut bout, but since then White has had 20 more matches under his belt, so a totally different fighter.
Right, and by looking at the submission attacks that Vernon is initiating and the grappling that he's involved in at this point, you can see that this Vernon White is not the same guy that we saw, the scrawny little kid in the beginning of Pancrase.
White in the half guard and the fighters near the rope, so the referee will break them up. They'll restart. Fuke comes to this fight 11-12, so he'll be looking to get back to the 500. And what is Fuke's stance, Josh? He looks like he's sleepwalking out there with that stance.
Well, I will say it's completely unique to Fuke.
As this fight goes back on the mat, Vernon White on top in the full guard.
Applying pressure against Fuke's windpipe with the ridge hand there is Vernon White. Interesting application. So he hooks up the neck on Fuke inside the guard.
And Vernon White displaying a lot of moves that we previously have not seen from him. I don't know who he's training with, probably Ken Shamrock, Frank Shamrock, but they've taught him well.
Yeah, certainly. Remember in the beginning, Vernon was really more like a fish out of water on land, just flopping around, really looking out of place on the ground. But this is a completely different fighter, and you can really see the difference, regardless of his record as being 6-15. A lot of those were incurred when he was first starting out, and this guy, from this point on, would make a lot of strides in his career.
Now, this fight ended up in a draw. And Josh, as a fighter, how tough is it to accept a draw, knowing that you trained for this fight, you gave it your all, but you didn't win?
Depending on the circumstance, but in this case, I think for Vernon, what it shows him is it gives him the feedback of that he is improving, he is getting better, and a guy that took him out in like 2 minutes when he first got there is now can't. Not only is he not beating him, but it's a draw. It's a competitive fight between the two of them. So that's got to actually help Vernon, I think, in the long run.
All right, and on the other side of this break, we're going to show you the fighter that people call the Russian Bear.